Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
The sterile walls of the intergalactic research facility buzzed with the low hum of machinery, a constant reminder of the strides humankind had made by bridging the chasm between Earth and the stars. Jack Anderson leaned against the glass encasement of his lab, watching the intricate alien flora bloom under the artificial sunlight. His heart raced with excitement. Today was the inaugural Interspecies Symposium, a chance for humans and aliens to share innovations, cultures, and stories. Though there was an undercurrent of tension that never quite faded. Jack, a dedicated xenobiologist in his early 30s, had spent countless hours studying the behaviors and habits of various alien species. His brown hair was perpetually tousled from running his fingers through it during late-night research marathons, and his hazel eyes sparkled with curiosity. Nonetheless, he felt a tinge of loneliness as he surveyed the festive atmosphere outside his lab. Most of his colleagues were engaged, mingling with visitors, while he remained cocooned in his own world. As he adjusted his name tag, a worn-out piece of plastic that read Dr. Jack Anderson, he caught sight of her. Zyra glided gracefully across the room, embodying vibrant alien elegance. Tall and striking, with luminescent emerald skin, Zyra's otherworldly beauty drew the eye of everyone in the hall. She wore a flowing garment that appeared to shimmer and shift, reflecting the colors of her surroundings. As a representative of the Ilari, a species known for their poise and intelligence, she garnered a mix of admiration and apprehension from the humans around her. Jack swallowed hard as she approached him, her large silver eyes shimmering with a hint of amusement. "You look pensive, Earthling," she teased softly, her melodic voice sending a shiver down his spine. "Just thinking about the incredible variability of life forms," he replied, trying to sound casual, "and how we navigate our differences." "Differences can be beautiful," she said, sensing the weight behind his words. "They allow us to learn and grow. Speaking of, which brings me to a request I have for you." Jack raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "A request?" Zyra's expression shifted to a seriousness that captivated him. "Will you hold this egg until it hatches?" She extended her hand, revealing an iridescent egg, smooth and cool to the touch, radiating a soft glow. "An egg," he echoed, taken aback. "But it's—" "Please," she urged, her voice steady yet vulnerable. "This egg is part of my culture. It represents trust, connection, and ultimately, parenthood. By holding it, you'll be symbolizing your commitment to a bond that transcends our species." Jack hesitated. The weight of her proposition settled over him like a thick fog. While the thought of an intimate bond stirred a thrill within him, so did the enormity of the gesture. He was honored yet daunted, the implications gnawing at the edges of his mind. "All right," he finally said, extending his hand cautiously to take the egg. The moment his fingers grazed its smooth surface, an inexplicable warmth coursed through him. It was as if the egg had a heartbeat, a connection so profound it left him breathless. Zyra's face lit up with a smile that felt woven from starlight. "Thank you, Jack. You will never regret this decision." He chuckled nervously. "I hope you're right. It's a big responsibility." With a final glance at the egg and the alien woman, who now felt intertwined in his fate, Jack realized that this moment would change his life forever. As Jack cradled the iridescent egg, he felt an indescribable connection forming between them. The symposium continued around him, lively conversations, laughter, and the hushed sounds of awe punctuating the air. But in that moment, the bustling world faded to a distant echo. All that mattered was the enigmatic presence of Zyra beside him and the warmth of the egg nestled in the crook of his arm. "Tell me more about it," Jack urged, glancing up at Zyra, eager for deeper understanding. Zyra smiled knowingly, her silver eyes glinting with the essence of her culture. "This egg is a symbol of trust, Jack. It is the first step toward forming a bond, a union between our worlds. In Ilari society, this signifies a commitment that goes beyond mere friendship or partnership. It's about accepting one another despite our differences." "So, it's not just a physical bond?" Jack asked, curiosity piqued. "No," she replied. "In many ways, it symbolizes the emotional and spiritual connection we forge. When this egg hatches, It represents the merging of our lives, my role as a mother and your role as well, my partner in this journey. Her eyes softened, and Jack felt his heart race. He looked back at the egg, his mind swirling with questions. What happens when it hatches? A young one will emerge, Zyra explained, brushing her finger against the smooth surface of the egg. And we will become its caretakers. In Ilari tradition, raising a child involves nurturing both the body and spirit, helping them understand their place in the universe. Wow, Jack whispered, captivated. It's such a beautiful concept. Yet, a flutter of anxiety tinged the back of his mind. He felt unprepared, an imposter stepping into a role that seemed monumental. Zyra noticed his hesitation. I understand this is a lot for you, Jack. Human customs are different from mine. But think about the potential this union holds. It's not merely for the egg. It could forge pathways between our species, breaking down barriers of misunderstanding. There are people on Earth who might not accept this, Jack admitted, carefully observing her reaction. My colleagues, my friends. I am aware of the prejudices, she interrupted, her voice becoming earnest. But only by embracing our differences can we create a future where others can see beyond them. This is about more than just you and me. It's about our children and the future of interspecies relations. Jack released a deep breath, the gravity of her words hanging in the air like a halo. He had joined the symposium to learn about the alien world, to foster understanding, but now it felt like he was standing at the precipice of something far greater. As if sensing his conflict, Zyra stepped closer, her warmth enveloping him. Trust me, Jack. Each day we spend in that careful balance of uncertainty is part of something profound. We can navigate this together. Just then, the surrounding crowd erupted into applause as a renowned scientist shared a breakthrough in interspecies communication. It jolted Jack back to reality, loud and vivid, contrasting sharply with the intimate bubble Zyra had created around them. Do you want to go out and mingle some more? Jack suggested, trying to shake off his apprehensions. I mean, there's a lot to learn here. Not yet, Zyra insisted, her gaze locked onto his. First, allow me to guide you through the ways of my people. The importance of this egg cannot be overstated. There are Ilari customs surrounding its care that you must know. Intrigued, Jack nodded. All right, lead the way. With the egg safely tucked against his chest, he followed Zyra deeper into the facility. She seemed to radiate energy, eager to share her culture. As they moved, she shared stories about her childhood, about the communal nurturing of younglings, the ceremonies that accompanied every hatching, and the significant life lessons they taught. Jack listened intently, fascinated not only by her stories, but also by the subtle expressions that flitted across her face, her joy, pride, and even the shadows of sorrow when she recalled difficult moments in her past. Each word painted a vivid tapestry of an alien world that felt both foreign and shockingly compelling. Before long, they arrived at a quieter room lined with images and holograms depicting various Ilari traditions. One particular image caught Jack's eye, a beautifully orchestrated mating ritual depicting Ilari individuals surrounded by luminescent flowers, whispering promises beneath the stars. What's that? Jack pointed, curiosity bubbling inside him. It's a rite of passage for couples, Zyra explained, a hint of warmth creeping into her voice. It binds two souls together, symbolizing their commitment to share life and its burdens. The weight of her words settled over him. They were embarking on a journey that was more than just cultural exchange. It was a chance to forge a connection that could transcend their species. Hesitation melted into a determined resolve, a commitment to explore this alien territory alongside Zyra. I'm ready, he said, conviction rising in him. Let's learn more about your culture. And together, let's make this work. Together? Zyra echoed, a bright smile illuminating her ethereal features. As Jack looked down at the egg resting against his heart, a flicker of hope ignited within him. They would break barriers, and perhaps, in nurturing the egg, they would forge not just a bond between two species, but also a deeper connection that would resonate in ways he had yet to comprehend. Over the next few weeks, Jack found himself immersed in a whirlwind of new experiences. Each day brought a unique blend of challenges and revelations, transforming his routine existence into something colorful and exhilarating. The egg became a central part of his life, present in moments of quiet contemplation, laughter, and even frustration. Jack dedicated his morning hours to research, but his afternoons were devoted to learning about Ilari customs with Zyra. Some days, they spent long hours in the tranquil gardens of the facility, where bioluminescent flora thrived under the artificial sunlight, mirroring the vibrancy of their conversations. "Take a moment," Zyra instructed one afternoon, motioning toward the delicate petals of a flower that glimmered as if infused with starlight. "Observe the colors shifting as the light changes. This flower symbolizes patience and the nurturing of new life. The subtle dance of its hues reflects the emotions we undergo." Jack knelt beside the flower, marveling at the intricate patterns of colors. "It's stunning," he said, feeling the petals brush against his fingertips. "Why do your people place such importance on the natural world?" "Our lives are intertwined with nature," she explained, her voice soothing. "The Earth and the Ilari homeworld, Kalara, both hold wisdom in their forms. Maternal care begins with recognizing the beauty of life around us, understanding cycles, and showing gratitude." With each lesson, Jack felt layers of misunderstanding peeling away. In turn, he began to share snippets of earthly customs, the morning rituals of coffee drinking, the joy of watching fireworks, and the way laughter could echo through the silence. Each conversation wove their lives intricately, deepening their bond while nurturing a fledgling understanding of what it could mean to raise a child together. One particularly sunny day, Jack decided to surprise Zyra and organized a small picnic in a park outside the facility. He packed a basket brimming with simple earth delicacies, sandwiches, fresh fruits, and a thermos filled with iced tea. The thought of sharing human flavors and moments with Zyra made him giddy with excitement. As he spread a blanket beneath a blooming tree, its branches heavy with colorful blossoms, Zyra arrived, her vibrant attire contrasting beautifully against the green backdrop. "What is this?" she asked, her curiosity radiant. "A human tradition," he announced, gesturing to the picnic with theatrical flair. "We celebrate by sharing food outdoors. It's all about connection, much like your customs." Zyra tilted her head, a glimmer of amusement playing across her lips. "You humans are quite whimsical." Jack grinned, pouring iced tea into 2 cups. "I like to think of it as embracing life's simple pleasures." He raised his glass, and to his delight, Zyra mirrored him with a radiant smile. As they enjoyed the food, they shared stories. Jack spoke of family gatherings and the camaraderie that came from sharing a meal, while Zyra recounted communal festivals back on Kalara, filled with music and laughter echoing through the night. In moments of reflection, Jack caught glimpses of what lay beneath Zyra's composed exterior. She confided about the expectations placed upon her to represent her people, the struggles against stereotypes, and the fear that her culture might not find acceptance among humans. "I may not represent all Ilari, but I carry our hopes with me," she admitted, her voice filled with determination. "And I believe that by forging this bond, we can show a more profound possibility for coexistence." Jack's heart swelled with admiration for her tenacity. It was through sharing their cultures that they could grow close, yet the challenges lingered on the periphery. As he discussed his fears regarding societal acceptance, she reached out, intertwining her fingers with his. "You hold my egg now, and it represents a leap of faith. We cannot assume the reactions of others will echo our desires, but we can embrace the connection we share. That is what matters." The conversation shifted to lighter subjects as they teased each other about peculiar Earth customs and alien quirks. Laughter echoed through the clear afternoon air, weaving a vibrant tapestry of companionship. However, reality knocked insistently at the edges of their shared bliss. Jack could not ignore the whispers he heard from colleagues, the sidelong glances whenever Zyra entered the lab, and the undercurrents of skepticism lurking in every brief encounter. As their bond deepened, so did the weight of societal expectations. One evening, as Jack worked late in the lab, he overheard a few colleagues discussing interspecies relations. It was a heated conversation punctuated by dismissive remarks. "Do you really think it's wise to pursue relationships with them?" One voice sneered. "Where will it leave us, when they don't conform to our standards. Jack's blood boiled, the anger threatening to overwhelm him. He knew he ought to intervene, but fear held him back. What if he drew attention to his bond with Zyra? What would they say? As he stormed out of the facility, the pang of thoughts consumed him. He longed to defend Zyra and what they were building, but uncertainty loomed like a dark cloud above him. Could he risk facing the inevitable backlash for the connection they'd forged so carefully? The following day, he found himself sitting with Zyra, the egg nestled between them, the vibrancy of their world momentarily dimmed by his thoughts. She noticed his preoccupied gaze and leaned closer, brushing her fingers against his arm, an unspoken promise of solace. "Jack," she said softly, "you seem troubled. What burdens do you carry?" Hearing those comments, it's hard to reconcile what we share with the way others may perceive us, he confessed, his voice heavy with vulnerability. "I don't want you or the egg to get hurt because of what people think. I wish I could protect you." In response, Zyra's expression shifted to a mix of empathy and determination. It is human nature to fear what is different, but we cannot live in the shadows of others' perceptions. The harmony we create can bridge divides, showing others the beauty of acceptance. You must learn to embrace this challenge alongside me. Her words stirred something deep within him. Jack recognized that they were embarking on a journey that would not only shape their identities, but also challenge societal norms. They were pioneers, standing at the forefront of a union that could change lives. "Together then," he said, a newfound strength igniting in his voice. "No matter what challenges we face, we will confront them together." Zyra's warm smile ignited hope. "Together, and in doing so, we will teach others that love knows no boundaries." As they sat in the quiet embrace of their developing bond, a beat of shared determination pulsed in the air. Amidst their laughter and moments of introspection, Jack realized that every day spent nurturing the egg and one another was a step toward shaping a future that held the promise of acceptance and deeper connections. The following weeks passed in a harmonious blend of discovery and connection as Jack and Zyra continued to nurture their bond. The egg had become a symbol of hope and possibility for both of them, encapsulating their dreams of shared future. However, beneath the surface of their joyful moments, a storm of external conflict loomed, a tension that threatened to unravel everything they had built. One evening, Jack attended an interspecies dialogue meeting hosted by the facility. It was intended to foster understanding, but the atmosphere was thick with underlying resentment. As he entered the conference room, he spotted familiar faces among the attendees: scientists, community leaders, and representatives from various alien species. The gathering began with each participant presenting their findings and experiences with interspecies relationships. Jack felt a tug of excitement. Perhaps he could finally contribute to changing perceptions. A human scientist rising to address the room caught Jack's attention, and a sinking feeling crept into his gut. Dr. Milton, a high-ranking member of the facility's board, stood before the podium, his posture confident, though his message rang alarm bells. "While we strive for collaboration with our alien counterparts, we must be cautious," he asserted, his voice laced with authority. "Mating habits of some species diverge significantly from ours. Can we truly afford to intertwine our fates with theirs? We must think of the implications for our society." Jack felt his heart quicken. Every word felt like a dagger aimed at Zyra and their connection. He exchanged glances with a few other colleagues, but no one seemed willing to speak up. Are we to ignore the unique genetic differences that could arise from such unions? "Doctor," Milton continued, his brows furrowed as he scanned the room. "The dangers of hybridization. What kind of offspring would that produce? Our races will be forever altered." A murmur rippled through the audience. Jack's stomach churned, a mix of anger and fervor igniting within him. He had to speak up before fear stifled the bridge they had begun to build, not only for himself, but for Zyra too. As the murmurs grew louder, Jack braced himself and stood from his seat. "We cannot use fear as a shield against progress," he declared, his voice rising above the chatter. "The true danger lies not in these unions, but in ignorance and prejudice." A hush fell over the room, surprised eyes turning toward him. Jack locked eyes with Dr. Milton, determination coursing through him. Zyra and I share a bond that transcends biology. We're not defining our future based on assumptions. Rather, we are nurturing something beautiful between our species. A tension unfurled in the air, heavy with the weight of his words. By recognizing and celebrating our differences, we can broaden our understanding of what it means to connect. Doctor Milton's expression darkened as he countered. You're speaking from a place of naivete, Dr. Anderson. Love does not shield us from the real concerns of hybrid learning. You speak passionately about connection, yet the consequences require careful consideration. Jack felt the room tightening around him, knowing that the seeds of misunderstanding had taken root. He turned his gaze to the crowd, the faces reflecting a mix of curiosity and skepticism. It's not naivete, it's a choice. A choice to embrace connection over division and build a bridge of understanding. He continued, his voice steady. This isn't just about me or Zyra, it's about our children. It's about creating a future where we can coexist harmoniously. Dr. Milton scoffed, seizing the opportunity to undermine him. And would you propose we disregard the biological details? Haphazardly breeding with aliens could spell chaos. Already, our scientists are torn about the implications of hybridization. The room erupted into heated debate, voices clashing as fears surged, drowning out Jack's words. His spirit sank. Despite his best efforts, he felt like David standing against Goliath, underdog and adversary fighting for common ground. An alien representative named Alara, a matriarch with the appearance of iridescent feathers, finally spoke up amidst the clamor. The fear of the unknown cannot outweigh the possibilities of what we can create together, be they human or Ilari, she declared. This peace lies within collaboration, not isolation. Jack's heart raced, feeling heartened by Alara's support. It stirred something inside, emboldening him to push back with renewed vigor. The ways in which we define our definitions of family and connection evolve, he asserted. We have the opportunity to redefine not only our bonds, but what it means to be a parent, a partner regardless of species. Dr. Milton's expression soured, snippets of laughter and jeering remarks echoing around the conference room as the crowd shifted towards more opposition. Jack could feel the tide turning. Fear was drowning out hope. The meeting disbanded in chaos, people shoving their pamphlets into bags, minds swirling with prejudice lingering in the air. Jack stormed out into the corridor, anger coursing through him, hurling thoughts about how he would steer this through. As he leaned against a wall, battling frustration, Zyra arrived, concern etched across her face. Jack, what happened in there? I tried to stand up for us, for what we're building, he admitted, running a hand through his hair. But every time I said something, it was like throwing pearls before swine. Her expression softened, and she stepped closer, any distance evaporating as their connection drew between them. You fought for what you believe in, Jack. Even the most monumental changes begin with a single voice. Anger morphed into sadness as Jack thought of the uphill battle ahead. But what if they never understand? What if they always see us as a threat? Zyra's grip tightened around his arm. Then we will show them the truth. The egg represents the unity between our worlds, and through it, we will reveal the beauty of our love. I want to believe that, he said, choking on the bitterness of reality. But it feels like I'm swimming against a current I can't control. It's daunting. Zyra's eyes locked onto his, a steady anchor amidst the chaos. Together, we will navigate this. You are stronger than you realize, Jack. We can overcome this conflict together. With unyielding resolve, she took his hand, intertwining their fingers like an unbreakable bond. In that small gesture, strength surged through Jack's veins, allowing him to stand tall amid uncertainty. He glanced at the egg nestled in the crook of his arm. It was an emblem of their fight, a symbol of everything that lay ahead. As Jack took a deep breath, determination ignited within him. They would face this challenge, not as individuals swallowed by a tide of fear, but as a duo fueled by love, a union capable of creating ripples in the fabric of interspecies relationships, forging connections within an ever-divided world. The days turned into weeks, and the urgency surrounding the egg grew palpable. Jack found himself checking on it countless times throughout the day. Each slight change, a shift in color or a faint vibration, sending thrills of anticipation coursing through him. He and Zyra meticulously prepared for what lay ahead, each moment imbued with the weight of expectations and hopes. The moment Jack had dreaded and desired arrived on a balmy afternoon. The egg began to tremble slightly in its incubator, its shimmering surface pulsating with light. Jack's heart raced as he shared an electrifying glance with Zyra, who stood by his side, eyes wide with a mix of excitement and terror. "It's happening!" Jack exclaimed, pulse racing. "It's time." Zyra nodded, a slow smile blooming on her face. "Yes, the moment of birth draws near." Her voice trembled slightly, a mixture of emotions coursing through her as they watched the egg moving before them. They gently lifted the egg from its warm nesting place. Jack cradled it against his chest, feeling the warmth radiate from the surface in waves that mirrored his own rising heartbeat. The tension in the air was thick with anticipation as they settled on the floor amidst the soft glow of the chamber, where the light seemed to dim to spotlight the egg. As they stayed close, mesmerized by the rhythm of life unfolding before them, the egg quaked and then began to crack. A chorus of soft clicks echoed within the shell, like the whispers of an arriving new life. Jack could hardly breathe, his gaze fixated as he and Zyra leaned in, heartbeats syncing in a harmonious drum. With a final burst of energy, the egg shattered, tiny fragments scattering around them. A creature emerged, damp and glistening as it unfurled. Jack gasped, unable to take his eyes off the magnificent being before them. The creature resembled a blend of both their worlds, iridescent skin shifting hues much like the flowers Zyra had shown him. Its large, curious eyes explored the space around it. For a lingering moment, time stood still as they laid eyes on their creation, the first proof of their bond and their shared journey. "It's beautiful," Jack breathed, his heart swelling with awe. The tiny being shook off remnants of the eggshell, revealing delicate, glowing patterns swirling on its skin, mimicking an exquisite tapestry of colors. Zyra knelt beside Jack, gazing at the new life with tears of joy glistening in her eyes. "It is beautiful," she echoed, her voice trembling with emotion. "Look at its colors, Jack. They reflect both our worlds, a perfect blend." The small creature, a hatchling, opened its eyes wide and blinked at them, clearly awed by the new surroundings. It stretched its limbs, unfurling what appeared to be delicate wings that shimmered under the softly glowing lights of the chamber. Every movement was enchanting, a reminder of the possibilities that lay ahead. In that moment, Jack realized the magnitude of what they had created. Their lives had been forever intertwined, and now they were not only partners, but parents. The weight of responsibility came crashing down, but it felt less daunting in the glow of this moment. "What do we name it?" Jack whispered, glancing at Zyra, his heart racing with anticipation and affection. A thoughtful expression crossed Zyra's face as she delicately reached out to touch the creature's soft skin, sending ripples of light reflecting from its body. "In my culture, names can symbolize attributes or hopes. Perhaps we could choose something that embodies both worlds." Jack smiled, filled with warmth and inspiration. "How about Lumi? It means light in human culture, reflecting the light of hope that brought us together." Zyra nodded in delight. "Lumi it is, our hope for a future filled with understanding and togetherness." As Lumi, their child, blossomed, Jack felt the tumult of the preceding days melt away. Memories of the heated discussions regarding interspecies relationships, the shadows of doubt and societal pressures, transformed into a palpable resolve deep within him. This child was their answer, a beacon of unity, of possibilities, where barriers previously existed. "Together," Jack reminded Zyra, intertwining his fingers with hers, their parental bond reinforced by their determination. "We can teach Lumi about both our worlds. We'll show him how different, yet beautiful, cultures can coexist." Zyra's smile radiated joy. "Yes, we will. We'll teach our child about the wonders of Earth, the laughter, the colors, and the beauty of Kalara, the songs of nature, the rhythms of the stars. Only together can we craft a narrative that embraces everything we are." with luminosity reflecting vividly from Lumi's skin. The hatchling's curious eyes turned to them, exploring its new world. In that moment, Jack realized the vast potential contained within such a small being. It was not simply a merging of human and Ilari, but a reflection of dreams unfurling, a promise of connection and love that extended beyond societal fears. However, the journey was far from over. The risks they faced in the wake of this new life were palpable. Jack could already envision debates igniting anew. The same uncertainty they had faced together rested on their shoulders. People would question, potentially resist, the existence of a hybrid child. But as he watched Lumi's gentle exploration, Jack felt an unwavering conviction settle upon him. "Zyra, we may face challenges ahead," he said, his voice steady. "But there's hope in this. Lumi could change everything." "Indeed," Zyra affirmed, a fierce determination twinkling in her eyes. "Our experience as a family, our love, can resonate beyond ourselves. It can break down walls and reshape perceptions. We will not falter." In that defining moment, the couple united their hearts, embracing the responsibility of parenthood and the promise of the future. Wordlessly, they made a pact to forge their path, to celebrate both their cultures, and to nurture Lumi with the love and understanding he would need to thrive in a world still wrestling with acceptance. As days turned into weeks, Jack and Zyra worked diligently to create a nurturing environment for Lumi. They blended customs from both their worlds, earthly playtime, where Lumi explored gravity and laughter, alongside the Ilari songs sung in gentle tones, harmonizing elements of both cultures. Visitors came, too, their friends from both species eager to meet the offspring that embodied interstellar unity. In time, Jack found himself championing awareness, leading discussions on interspecies relationships, sharing their lived experiences. "Lumi will shine a light where shadows lurk," he would say, fervent in his advocacy. "Together, we can cultivate understanding through honest dialogue." Through perseverance and the warmth of their love, Jack and Zyra sowed seeds of acceptance within their communities, inspiring allies. Some were once skeptics, now embracing the possibility of coexistence. They stood, proud of what they had built, a family united not by fear, but by hope, love, and resilience. As Jack gazed at Zyra and Lumi amid a blend of laughter and harmony, the path forward blossomed into a kaleidoscope of possibilities, reflecting everything they aspired to be. In this newfound family, Jack understood what it meant to be a father by alien law, a love that transcends struggles, a connection that bridges the chasms of existence. With Zyra by his side and Lumi cradled in their arms, Jack felt a sense of peace and purpose settle over him. The journey ahead was uncertain, but no longer did it loom as an overwhelming fear. They would face this future together, entwined in a narrative rich with richness, diversity, and love. And together, they would change the world.